Chris Roebuck, an economist and a visiting professor at Cass Business School. Thank you very much for joining us here at TRT World and coming in. So the governor of the Bank of England is in hot water for his comments about Brexit. Isn't he just being the guardian of the British economy?
Well, I think if you look at this from the practical perspective, when we get messages from people who are in power, what we do is we say to ourselves, one, does this person have credibility? Two, do I believe this person? Three, what about common sense? If we look at this particular debate, the government people versus Carney, Carney's been central bank governor of 2 countries and is respected across the world. He's an independent governor and his comments have been supported by the Independent Government Office. If you look at the government people, most of them haven't had central banking experience. Most of them are on a political agenda where they're not necessarily telling us all the truth. Then if you look at the common sense thing, at its most basic, UK PLC, Monday we are selling things to our customers at X price. Monday night we have a no-deal Brexit. Tuesday morning the price is plus 30%. Are they going to keep coming back? Probably not.
So he called it would result in an instant shock to the UK economy. And do you think that's a reasonable statement?
Absolutely, because there are certain things that come across on a short-term lead time basis in terms of food and the other things he mentioned, and that if we have a no deal, there will be immediate tariffs of different levels on different things. It's also not just relevant for things that are coming into the country to be consumed, it's also relevant to a significant proportion of things like car manufacturing parts that go in, are then developed, then go out to be completed elsewhere.
Then we would all ask the questions to ourselves, really. If it's going to affect that much, how much of an effect would it have on a day-to-day basis in our ordinary lives with food and fuel?
Well, certainly the government's no-deal plans are building up. But the problem is that if there is a no deal, we are effectively overnight severing our economic relationship on the previous terms with our main trading partner. And in any situation, it is likely to produce a significant shock to the system. And we know that in this particular case, if you look at what the government's saying versus what Carney's saying, we're getting to a point where we're having ideology over reality. And that, I think, is the danger.
And what kind of preparations can you put in place?
You can put in as many preparations as you like, but it's on so many levels. It's on the levels of how many lorries have to go through customs at Dover. It's on the level of the speed with which things need to move through the system. So, for example, car parts need to be fast, but not as fast as fresh food. So the challenge is that this relationship has built up over 40 years and is so totally integrated that even if we're negotiating, it's going to be a shock. But if you break the relationship overnight, Carney is probably much more correct in terms of results than the government spokesman are.
Well, we do have to wrap it up here, but thank you very much for coming in and for that insight, Chris Roebuck.
Thank you.